Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. Comcast and Spectrum are really struggling. Is cord cutting 2.0 going to finally kill cable television in a way 1.0 couldn't? YouTube TV's got a bug that causes your shows you watch to be muted. We'll tell you how to fix that on Roku TVs. And internet service providers are trying to stop net neutrality in court. We have a breakdown of this and a whole lot more here in a quick second. First of all, if you want to learn more about these stories and all the others we're about to cover, check out the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. You can find a link to each show there so you can read them for yourself. Or each story. If you're new here, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. All right, let's dive into it. Numbers are out for the first quarter, and Cord Cutting 2.0 is seeing very strong growth, eating into Comcast and Spectrum. Both Comcast and Spectrum lost internet subscribers as T-Mobile and Verizon are on track to add over 2.2 million new internet subscribers. Cord Cutting 2.0 is the idea that you're going to cancel cable television in 1.0, and in 2.0 you're going to cancel cable internet and get your internet from other providers. There's a growing number of internet providers out there, and this is one of the newest ways to do it. We'll have to keep a very close eye on this, but it's a growing trend. We've seen absolutely massive growth, including this is on top of the 141,000 people that canceled in the fourth quarter of 2023, and 523,000 added to T-Mobile and other places in the first quarter of 2024. We're seeing massive growth here. If this trend continues, over 2.2 million people will cancel traditional internet services and switch over to 5G home internet, which is one of the largest. Others are fiber, a growing number of fiber internet companies. Another one, I now have 2 fiber options in the neighborhood I live in, and other companies growing regularly to offer new home internet service. So question, have you ditched traditional cable television and switched over to a home internet service that's not from cable or DSL? Leave me a comment, let me know what kind, 5G, fiber, SpaceX, leave me a comment. YouTube TVs recently had a glitch that's caused Roku televisions to mute the volume or maybe sometimes crank the volume. It seems to be related to YouTube or YouTube TV and the Roku auto volume leveling. Roku TVs have a setting for some time now. It's been around a little bit. First I said it was new. Apologize. It has been around. It's just one of those features I missed in my head. But this new adaptive volume setting will adjust the volume of your television so that the volume kind of stays level. So again, you switch, especially like on YouTube, one video is crazy loud, the next is crazy quiet. Well, that mode for some reason is triggering on YouTube and lowering the volume. It must be those loud commercials on television, all the ways down so you can't hear it. Now it's very easy to turn off and fix. When you start a YouTube TV stream, hit the star key, select advanced sound settings. In there's an option called volume mode. Switching that to off fixes this problem. You set your volume to wherever you want and it works just fine. I'm sure an update will come to Roku or YouTube TV very soon to address this, but in the meantime, if you're experiencing this, and it's not widespread, it seems to be hitting some Roku TV models and not others, but you can go and be able to turn that on and off in the settings. Again, go to hit the star key, the asterisk key, whatever you want to call it, as soon as you apparently they think I'm talking to the Fire TV back here. Hit the asterisk key as soon as you start a video, advanced sound settings, and then you want to select with that the volume mode and turn that off. All right, next story up. Internet service providers are going to challenge net neutrality in court, and they think they have a better chance this time than last time. Now, they did ask the FCC to put the ruling on hold. It's currently scheduled to take effect next month, but they're asking them to put it on hold because they believe that there's a good chance they're going to win in court, and it's very often when new government regulations are challenged that those rules may be put on hold if it's believed that there's a good chance they may win. At issue here is the Supreme Court has recently been ruling much more in favor of the idea that significant rulemaking, the idea of significant new laws and other things need to first be passed by Congress. We'll see how this plays out. Will the Supreme Court agree with that this time? Will they rule that, the FCC should have had Congress rule on changing the definition of internet service? Or will the Supreme Court rule and say the FCC has the power to reclassify internet services like they did when they rolled out the so-called net neutrality. I'm no legal expert here. I have absolutely no clue on this one. Now, I do know it's a very different court now than it was back when they challenged it, 8, 9, 10 years ago, whatever it was when net neutrality first rolled out. It'd be interesting how it all plays out. But we do know that it is going to be challenged. These companies have made it clear that they are asking for the stay pending their lawsuit against it in order to stop net neutrality. With that, look for this to become more common. I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to be as a reporter, I think this is going to be a very interesting court case. I think it's going to give us a lot of insight into cable, internet, and fiber companies and internet providers, period, and into the FCC's inner workings and its decision related to net neutrality and what they hope to accomplish with it. As a reporter, that just fascinates me. I can't wait to see all the legal documents with it. But we'll see. This could delay net neutrality maybe years. This case is not going to get over quick, and it will probably work its way all the ways up through hearing, appeals, everything, all the ways up to the Supreme Court. I would be shocked if this does not end up in the Supreme Court, one way or the other, no matter who wins it. All right, let's keep moving along. Recently, Digital Trends came up with a story of 7 reasons you should ditch streaming, basically, and go back to cable television or satellite television. We came up with 7 reasons why you should stay as a cord cutter and not go back to cable television. So I'm going to quickly run through all of them. If you want to read an in-depth breakdown of all 7 of them, check out the show notes. Number 1, hidden fees. Most cord cutting services do not include hidden fees. They do have taxes like everything else, but the price you see is the price they charge with it, where cable television still relies very heavily on cable TV. Cable TV won't lock your price. I know it's often advertised as the price lock, but the fees related to it are often not included in that lock. So your base package will stay the same, but your device rental, broadcast television, regional sports fees, HD technology fees, the fees add up. Many of the biggest TV shows for number 3 are no longer on a traditional cable television service. They're now on things like Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, and the like. You can't watch the new Star Trek shows on CBS anymore. You need Paramount Plus to do it. Number 4, a growing number of sports are no longer on cable television. You now will need a streaming, which means even if you got cable, it's not like you could cancel all of your streaming options and just use cable television. So keep that in mind. Sometimes I hear people say, just go back to cable, as if cable will give you everything, and it's just not true. And that brings us to the next one. You still will pay for streaming. You know, we hear that all the time. One of the reasons people switch from cable to streaming is because they're like, we're already paying for Netflix and Amazon Prime and maybe Paramount Plus or something. So we're already paying for all that. Ditching the cable is a great savings on it. And number 7, streamers are happier than cable TV customers. According to the American Customer Satisfaction Index, streamers are significantly more happy than cable television customers. So check that out. Link in the show notes down below if you want to read my full in-depth review of it. Have you noticed news networks are putting more stories behind walls to make it harder to access? CNN is joining this. CNN is, according to Axios story, going to be testing out, targeting its power readers, people who read a lot of CNN news sites and watch their videos online, making them register for an account in order to keep reading. Now this comes as CNN is reportedly looking at launching a subscription service for its website. And forcing people to create accounts could make it more easy for them to eventually slide into a paid subscription. But don't be surprised if a growing number of cable television providers or news networks out there put what had been free videos of their stories and articles behind paywalls. Next story up, TNT is looking at keeping some NBA rights and bringing local games to national TV and Max. Now, it's being rumored that for billions of dollars, Amazon, NBC, and ESPN, like we talked about, will get most NBA games, but TNT may hold on to a few, and what it'll be is maybe a 4th package that'll bring some games that would have been exclusively local-only games to TNT. So these definitely may not be the biggest games that TNT is used to having, but instead we'll see a collection of other games, maybe also exclusively available to Max. We'll keep a close eye on this, but don't count out TNT from the NBA yet. And don't count on Max from getting exclusive NBA content. All right, let's dive into the question of the day. If you have a question for me, I need questions in order to answer them here. Leave me a comment. Start off with something like a question for Luke, and I'll do my best to answer them. I may answer in the comments, I may answer here. Today's question came in and asks, what are my biggest predictions for the second half of 2024? And with cord cutting. Now, a few things right off the bat. I think we will see one or two more cable networks shut down. I also think we're going to continue to see a growing number of small cable providers ditch TV and go internet and maybe even phone only. I think that's more likely at the end of the year. As they come up at the end of the fiscal year, they reevaluate everything. We saw a good number of that happen at the end of last year. I think it's going to happen again at the end of this year. Do not be surprised if you see a handful of small cable networks shut down, merge, or rebrand. It's definitely a very clear look that cable executives are reevaluating what networks and how they're spending money on them, moving money maybe towards more of the bigger networks away from the smaller ones. Probably going to drive a few of these to shut down or be rebranded into something different. There you go. There's my predictions. What's your predictions for the second half of 2024? Leave me a comment and let me know. Well, that's it for today. Take care. Be safe. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.